If you're receiving this transmission, you are the resistance, declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com. All right, welcome to the Dan Bidondi Show, and also I'm the host of the Nightly News with Dan Bidondi. So we got a special guest on the line here. This is Joshua Watts of Joshua Watts Leather, and I've been meaning to bring him on, and I want to bring him on. He's one of our sponsors Now You See TV, The Midnight Ride, The Cutting Edge, and all the other good shows up on Now You See TV. So I wanted to bring him on because everybody hears about Joshua Watts all the time with me, John Hall, John Pounders, and David Carrico. So I want you all to meet Joshua Watts, see what he's about. Right now he's in the shop. So this is Joshua Watts from joshuawattsleather.com. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to stay warm out here. It's even though it's California, it's it gets pretty cold. I come out here in the morning sometimes. I try to fire up the laser to do a few things for me, and it just says it's simply too cold to even run that. So, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome, man. And yeah, it looks like you're in your shop here. So, everybody hears about your products. I'm going to show one of the products right now. Two of them I got from Joshua, customized. These here are gun holsters, personalized, and they fit my 357 Magnum to like a glove, I should say. And they're customized with the "Don't Tread on Me" snake serpent on it, and also the Second Amendment and the Constitution written right on it. It's amazing. So anything, like literally anything in your imagination, he takes a raw piece of leather, customizes it any which way you want. It could be a hat or a belt or a gun holster, purse, the whole 9 yards. And we got some slides to show you too. And so Joshua, first of all, give an introduction to yourself, man. What got you into leather and all this other stuff and the whole 9 yards?
Okay, well, this is where you might want to sit back and enjoy some coffee because it's kind of a story. So I used to be an engineer for Hewlett Packard, pretty much straight out of high school, and worked my way up through the ranks and sat on the computer a lot. Got carpal tunnel in both my hands. They had to correct both my hands, and I had my ulnar nerve relocated in my elbow. So not shortly after that, I started getting issues in my back with sciatic nerve problems, that sort of thing. The doctor then diagnosed me with a certain kind of degenerative disc syndrome, where it's like super advanced and super fast, and also some muscular issues going on in my lower back. Turns out it's like I have what do they call it? Rheumatoid arthritis throughout my entire body now, and osteoarthritis in my hips. So, I couldn't really, work on the computer anymore. The company just wouldn't let me because I've had all these surgeries, and I was actually starting to miss a lot of work because of my back and, sitting in a chair all the time. So I got to spend a lot more time at home. A little bit in the future from there, my son was a Cub Scout at the time, and he had gotten like the flu or something, and he missed his leather working shop that he was going to do with the Cub Scouts. So they were cool and let him bring home like literally all the tools, a bunch of scrap leather and stuff. The whole family kind of got in the swing of things and started playing with the stamps and all that kind of stuff. Well, a couple days later, we had to take those tools back, and from there, I went directly over to Tandy Leather, and I think about like $500 worth of tools, which isn't a lot. You're not buying a lot of tools for $500. So I guess you could say I got into leather because of my son in a roundabout way. Yeah. And then I had a friend of mine at the time she was very encouraging to me. She's like, hey, you do everything super artistic, because I also paint and I have 4 published albums out. California Rockstar, that whole thing, and I even wrote a novel. I don't really want to get the names of all that stuff because that's all past Joshua. Um, so the so she signed me up for a uh, to do like a show. We call them shows, but they're like a. I was a vendor at her kids' school for one of their things when they invite the community to come to the school. And I didn't have any product. I was only really making bracelets at the time. I had made one mask, and I just had to build all this product within like 3 weeks, and then went to that show, did that vendor show at her school, her kids' school, and I made so much money. And like I think it was like 4 hours or something like that. That I came home, I put that money I made right into, um, like more leather tools, things I need like that, um, and bought like a lot of extra leather actually so I could practice doing some things. And from there, it just kind of escalated. I started doing craft shows around town, vending at those. And anytime I say show, I mean being a vendor at these shows. I was invited to several shows to be like a artist spotlight kind of thing. And the biggest reason why is because at that time I used to make a lot of leather masks, and I got really, really, really good at it. And you'll see some of them in the slides. I even built like an entire suit of armor to make my client look like a dragon, with an articulated jaw and snout I had to actually sculpt out of clay. But anyway, yeah. So I was getting kind of well known for my masks. Um, I don't really do those anymore. Actually, I haven't built a mask in a couple years. But I used to literally have collectors come to me and request masks, and I would build for them. I started getting really super well known locally. And when I mean locally, I mean like Northern California. When I started doing Renaissance fairs, and I started working at a place here in Northern California, up in the mountains between Sacramento and South Lake Tahoe. The town's called Placerville, and it was at a ranch called High Hill Ranch, and every fall there's all the ranches out there. They get together and they they all sell their wares, which are like apples and pies and stuff like that. And they call it Apple Hill, and it's just basically this whole like north south side of the mountain up there that for about I don't know 25 miles. All these ranches, they all have like little their jars of jam and stuff out there. Well, High Hill was the biggest ranch, and they get anywhere between I don't know 3,500 5,000 people on the daily, and then on the weekends it can get up to 10 to 20,000 people, and every single one of those people would have to come by my little booth area because it was one of the main areas. Again, I was a featured artist there. You had to be invited to be there at the time. So yeah, and then when I started really following the law, like I knew about the law. I mean, I graduated from Bible college, and I still was doing some of the things I was doing. Um, but when I really started following the law and learning about the laws, when I started really changing um, how I even operated my business. Hope that answers your question.
And the law defined as the Ten Commandments, is that correct?
Well,
Laws of
all
God,
the
yeah.
law, the
Yep.
Decalogue itself being the Ten Commandments, and then all the laws that apply to me in Deuteronomy, and plus Jesus Christ's laws.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's pretty cool, and because like we all have our walks ways of life, man, and I was a professional wrestler and all that, and it's like God seeps into you one way or another, no matter what you're doing. You could be a cop, firefighter, whatever the case,
Yep.
and the Lord's going to seep into you and seek you out and say, hey, listen, I want to pull you out of the rut of the world. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so it's amazing testimony. I love hearing people's testimonies because it shows you what kind of person that you are. You know what I mean? And where you came from and everything else. Not that making leather was bad or anything, but
No.
some people come from bad ways.
Well,
Mafia.
yeah,
And
some of
whatever.
the content, some of the masks I made, there's a couple, like I said, the dragon one, I think it's in the slides. And there's another one in there where you see me wearing a full face kind of thing. And it was I just built it just to see if I could sell that one. And I did. I sold it right away almost. But there's nothing holy about that. There's nothing that edifies the Father in either one of those things, And masks, you're hiding who you are. Maybe you're hiding that to the world, but you're never going to hide that to the Father. So I just kind of came to the conclusion there's really no need for me to build things like that anymore.
Yeah, man. And I was just showing the slides while you
Oh,
were
good.
talking, and amazing stuff, man. And
Well, thank you.
that whole belt system you got for the woman, with the purse
Oh,
and the
yes.
gun holster, that is the coolest thing, man.
Yeah, she came to me that one actually has hidden pockets in it too. They're actually on the inside, so if you go traveling, you can have your traveler's checks and stuff on the inside and it's not exposed. But yeah, a lot of the gals out here in California like to wear, they're wearing, I call them their yoga pants. They don't have any pockets, especially mini pockets. And she happens to be a mail delivery person, and she carries this thing. She wears it every single day. As a matter of fact, I just talked to her day before yesterday on the phone. She's been a client of mine for years now, and it still works fantastic for her.
Yeah, I'm showing the picture of it right now. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's the coolest thing, man. Especially the states with open carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I admire all the stuff you made. What's that horn thing you make? It's is that an actual horn or something?
Those are you're talking about the drinking horns.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, those are like actual drinking horns. So they're bovine horns from like small steers, and I think those ones particularly come from Texas. I'm not sure if they come from Texas or Brazil. My leather normally comes from Brazil, just because I like the way that they harvest down there. But the horns, I think those ones actually come from Texas,
Yep.
and they are from steers. But yeah, they're 100% bone, and yeah, I had to learning how to do just what you see in those pictures was that's a whole nother story in itself. But my wife didn't like me a whole lot when I was making those because of the smell that would come off of them. I don't know if you've ever literally baked horn in an oven before
No.
or boiled it. It's not, yeah, and the smell that comes out, it's kind of like like when you get a shofar for the first time and you smell the inside of it.
Yep.
It's like that, but times 10. It's just nasty. But
Wow.
yeah, those are full drinking horns. They're only beeswax lined on the inside. There is like a food grade like varnish. I wouldn't trust it, especially with hot fluids and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But if you just want to kick back with like a Hefeweizen or an ale of your choice, it's a great horn to drink out of.
That's awesome. And this is a big hit here. Your Bible covers, man.
The Bible
Amazing
covers, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's my right now, that's my main bread and butters, Bible covers. And I got to tell you, I love building them. The actual building aspect of putting the covers together is not really that big a deal. I mean, it's like 3 pieces of leather, and if you got a handle, there's 4, and if you got a strap, there's 5 pieces of leather. It's not even that hard. But the thing I particularly love about building Bible covers is the designs that people want me to do for them. And I might say about 90% of the time, the client is describing to me what they want. And then I just kind of go from whatever they describe to me. Of course, I send them a digital file so they can see the design and approve it or not. But yeah, I love doing that part. The whole art part on there, the tooling, even when I fire up the laser, if they can't afford the tooling, because the tooling is way more labor expensive. all of the art part of it from the beginning to the finished product is my favorite part.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of the stuff, man. Simply amazing. I mean, it just amazed me because you shown me before just the raw pieces of leather you get, the cow skin, whatever, and to make
Yeah, here
something out
I
of
got a
that.
piece right here I can show you guys. This is let me just grab it out. So this here is just a piece of saddle skirting. I don't know if the
Wow.
camera's going to pick that up real well,
Yep.
but this is what your weight belt's going to be made out of there,
Oh, nice.
Dan.
I'm excited for
So
that.
yeah, this thing is super thick, but this is the color that almost every product that I build comes to me as, and sometimes it's actually a little bit lighter than this. Sometimes I'll use linings that are. I'm pulling out another piece of leather, and I just dropped in some more leather. But then you have they're already pre-colored leathers. This is actually a lining I use for wallets sometimes, just black leather. But
Oh,
I have
nice.
everything from cowhide to pigskin. A lot of people seem to have a problem with pigskin, in the biblical world when, the Father created pigs too for a purpose. And, I use their skin, but I have goat, I have pig, I've worked with bear skin. Um, I've worked with, let's see, stingray, python,
Wow.
rabbit skin, deer skin. As a matter of fact, one of my pieces, I don't think it's in one of these pictures because the picture wasn't all that great, but one of my pictures or one of my pieces actually went to one of the local Native American tribes here in Northern California. They had hired me to build them a rifle sheath, a Native American rifle sheath. It took me 3 full buckskins, like the full animal, to build this rifle sheath for them with all the fringe. And I do have the picture of it, though, if you want to see it. It's on my
Sure.
Instagram page.
Sure. Let me go to that. Oh, is it on your Facebook at all?
It might be. I mean, I'm sure it is. If it's not on there, it's going to be on my Instagram as well. But you might have to scroll back a little while for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. See if I can find it. But yeah, I'm just it's amazing stuff, man. I tell you.
Yeah, and I love doing the work. I wish my body would allow me to do work longer, especially this time of year, because there's still a lot of people that do celebrate, Christmas, and they're trying to get their orders in, and I've only got so much time in a day in my body. So even though I do this kind of work, I still have physical ailments that stop me, and it's usually my body will just say no. It's usually around between 12 and 1 o'clock every single day, and it says nope, you're done, you need to go inside. And if I don't, I pay for it, and there's no amount of drugs I can take that'll help me if I don't stop. So I've learned over the years to stop. I've had this for like 10 years now. And there's not a whole lot my doc can do for me, except keep popping those pills out for me. So
Yeah, man. God bless you, brother. The stuff that you do is just amazing. You know what I mean? It's just amazing how when you look at it, God blesses people with certain talents and all that. I know it's an everyday thing for you, but I mean, somebody like me, normal people that don't do the leather stuff, not that you're not normal, I'm saying, but it's just amazing how you could take a raw piece of animal skin and create something beautiful like this, man. It's outstanding. And still got the smell. Yeah, this is me, I think it was 6 months ago, about a year ago,
yeah.
and it still got that nice leather smell in it. I love it.
That's the one thing about leather, man, especially the veg tan leather like this. That smell doesn't normally go away very fast. Now, I'll tell you a funny, quick story. So, the friend I was talking about earlier, she actually used to work with me for about 2 years, actually. She was very over enthusiastic about my abilities, like you are. Um, but I built a purse for her as a thank you for all her help and stuff. And it was a beautiful. It was turquoise. It had a sea turtle on it, and I think I had a couple. What do they call them? Seahorses on the back, Anyway, she's very big into her, I call them her hippie oils, the oils that everybody's into, the aromatherapy ones. And she used to keep those in her purse, and one of them leaked, and man, it stained that entire leather,
Oh
and that
man.
leather smell actually went away because of the aromatherapy oils. But yeah, I was like, well, lesson learned. I seal all my products; they're all water sealed, so you can get them wet. You just don't want to go swimming with them. But when you dump oil on leather,
Yeah.
that's going to supersede whatever seal I put on there. Doesn't matter what it could be concrete sealant, which I've done concrete sealant.
I got a picture
It'll
of a
still
press up
supersede
here.
that.
This press you have on the slides, it looks like this not a rainbow, like this dragon skin, like with a leaf on
Oh
it,
yeah,
a green press.
that's my daughter. So I built that for my daughter. I'm trying to find the. Yeah, let me pull that one up for you. So that skin that you're seeing that looks like the rainbowy, like kind of like snake skin
Yep.
look. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I built this or built this purse for my daughter. Man, I don't know. She was still like a little. I mean, she's 11 now, but she was like a little at the time, maybe 6 or something.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, there's three kinds of leather here, and there's a little bit of tooling. It's kind of personal. That's why I kept it covered, and you can't really see it underneath the brown leafy part. Um, but that brown leather that you see there, that's Kodiak hide. And a lot of people think that's, oh, you're using some sort of exotic bear skin, and no, it's just what they call it. But it's a very supple leather compared to veg tan. It's still cowhide, but it's oiled all the way through, and then they suck most of the oil out. Um, so it won't, like, if you put it on like a piece of cloth, it's not going to stain it like some other oiled leathers would, like those Outback jackets, the real
Yep.
oily, big cowboy looking ones. Those ones will actually stain other clothing if it's not lined properly. So, but yeah, so that one's Kodiak hide. All the green part you see is all just regular veg tan. I stained and tooled and laced myself. And then the rainbow part of it is actually lambskin that has a foil that has been like kind of like glued onto it. I don't do this process; it comes this way from the factory. But yeah, it's got like this. It's just a foil. It's printed on there,
Oh,
and
nice.
this one obviously had some sort of chromatic effect to it. But yeah, that was a real popular one. I wish I could get my hands on it, more of it now, but they just don't make it anymore.
Yeah. That's some interesting stuff, man. And let me see what else sticks out here. Just the animal prints too. The designs. It's like so detailed and on some of the
Yeah,
stuff there. And I know you
my
doing stuff with Cascadia Cutlery, making the sheets for them as well.
yes, and we do have more things in the works. Um, some of them are still kind of in the planning phase. One we just got finished, and I think everybody's going to love it. It's literally going to be fun. Like, it's a fun thing to have, but it'll also make you look like some sort of a steampunky kind of person. It'll be kind of cool.
That's awesome. And you guys got the tactical pens going on with the, I guess, because I see it on Cascadia Cutlery, your Bible covers that come with the tactical pens now. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's so this the way that it works with Nolan over there at Cascadia is he just tells me what he wants, just like any of my other clients, and I just
Nice.
build them for him, send them up there, and he does what he wants with them. So, um, he some of the times he sends down the pieces that he actually wants something built for. Um, so, like, the tactical pins, he'll send those down, and I'll insert those. I'll build the cover or whatever I'm building for him, and then actually place it and make sure it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, bro. And yeah, Cascadia Cutlery, I see your leather all over the place. You know what I mean? You can automatically tell it's your leather, man. The sheets and the Bible covers, and they put the pen in there. Good stuff, man. And I love it. And
Those are
so,
cool Bible covers, by the way. That camouflage one,
yep.
that was the first time I ever did that. That came out pretty good, I think.
Actually, let me get to that too. Let me show people that one because that thing's awesome. These Bible covers here again. Yeah, I'm like speechless with this stuff because it's like I couldn't even come close to making anything but like this. And let me see if that's on your website, right?
The Yeah, it's going to be in the pictures under the Instagram. If you go to Josh Watts Leather, just click on gallery.
Okay, let me see where am I.
Yeah, and actually, if anybody's listening and they want to contact me about something, they can always just go to joshwattsleather.com and just there's a contact form you could fill out
Yeah.
there and get a hold of me. I do have a phone and I do have a phone number, but I'm begging you, please don't call me. I hate my phone. I had one strapped to my head for 15 years. I just don't even want to deal with the phone anymore. But I also forget things too. I got people all the time trying to tell me what they would like to have built, and I might be getting those kind of confused, and I'm not going to remember who you are. So always, always, always email me. I'm pretty quick about getting back to you, except for the weekends. I don't email on the weekends, or I certainly don't try, or I certainly try not to email on the weekends. But yeah, just always email me. There's always going to be a record of exactly what you want, our conversation, who you are, all that kind of thing. The phone, I know it's a little bit more personal because we can hear each other's voices, but honestly, it's the most unreliable way for me to communicate. And like I said, I hate my phone. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
Nolan, by the way, thinks that's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm sure you met Jack too, the senior vice president of operations.
Old Snaggletooth himself.
Yeah. You should make him a nice leather suit for battle.
Yeah, I should. I thought about making him little leather wings.
That'd be funny. Yeah, well, on the Instagram now, I'm just trying to scroll through and see where that. Yeah, I seen that Camouflage Bible cover, man. That is amazing.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever did anything like that. I built or made myself little what are they called? Templates. Here's the cutout of one of the templates, but to airbrush, in and around to make the certain shapes, and then tried to make a pattern out of it. I mean, it came out pretty good. I mean, I'm a lot more surprised than I think other people are about it.
Yeah, folks, too. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I forgot to pull up the Instagram on my computer here. But yeah, man, go to his Instagram. Go to Josh Watts Leather. You can find him on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything, man. And there's tons, and you just go to the website too. Tons of images and everything he makes. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah, and you can just go to joshwattsleather.com. It'll actually take you to everywhere you want to go on there. And please, if you enjoy my YouTube videos, I mean, there's a bunch there, but anyway, if you enjoy them, please subscribe. I would love to start doing live shows, and I just don't have the subscriber count yet, but I do have the watch time.
Awesome. So yeah, I hope you. We're gonna start helping you build up your channel. We're trying to build up John Hall's. He said if he gets 10,000 subscribers, he's gonna go in the ocean. He wants me and you to go with him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I keep trying to get him out here to go to Monterey, where all the scuba divers go to get their certifications.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's like sand sharks out there in that part, but they're not. He won't even touch them, and he's only going knee deep. But I'm going to go in. My 11-year-old daughter said she'll go right in and go swimming, and I'll let her. It's totally okay.
Yeah, I love the ocean. So I want to get your take on the news.
Sure.
Just actually, I don't even know where to begin with that because there's so much stuff going on, man.
There's so much stuff. Where's Burr? Where's Barr?
I'm sorry.
Where's Barr at?
I don't know. He's just sitting there. Then Attorney General Barr, he comes out and says he really hasn't found any proof, but all the proof coming out, the substantial amount of proof of the fraud, and it's overwhelming. And what is he just sitting there? I don't know. Was he getting paid off or something? And Trump just tweeted out yesterday about the governor from Georgia. All he has to do is help, not certify the elections or something like that, and it'll help him win. Trump would win the election.
It sounds like treason to me.
Yeah.
Like literally, I don't understand. I don't understand. Do they think that we're all stupid or something? I don't get it.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to pull straws right now because the mainstream media is on a take. And they know damn well, the alternative media, they can't keep a lid on. They could only try to shut us up on Facebook and YouTube, whatever. But there's so many other platforms out there, man, that they can't keep the lid on it. And and Trump was just saying the other day too, if it wasn't for his Twitter and all that, like if it wasn't that he couldn't come out with what he wanted to tell the public, the mainstream media would have spun that out of control to make him look like a wacko.
Yeah, totally. I don't understand. This is another thing I don't understand is why aren't we all out with our pitchforks and our torches standing literally in front of all the media companies? We all have local affiliates in every town or city we live in. Why aren't we out there, demanding them to tell the truth and to cover all aspects instead of just one?
That's a good idea. Should start some kind of nationwide hold the media accountable rally. You know what I mean? That'd be a good idea because they're the ones who are on the front lines behind everything. They're the ones who the filter between the elite and the public. You know what I mean? And if they told the truth,
they're the only ones who have access to these people in the first place. We do kind of, but they don't. Like I'm talking about like governors, presidents. They're the ones who have access to them. We don't normally have access to the president. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need to hold them accountable.
Absolutely. And it should because, it's sickening, really is. And we know about the Mockingbird media. I mean, we did a show on it. Me, John Hall, and John Pounders. I got my channel demonetized on YouTube. And it's crazy, man. The whole Mockingbird media, and we all know the CIA infiltrated the mainstream media back in the 1900s. And, they talk like the 1900s. It was hundreds of years ago. It's 40. But back in the 1900s, and they, all the major mainstream media and put their people in as editors-in-chief and all that. And just to control what goes out to the public, and what doesn't go out to the public.
Yeah. But, actually, and I think that goes back even a little bit further personally. I think it goes back to like when the robber barons, Rothschilds, the Kissingers, those kinds of guys. I think that's when they were during the Industrial Revolution. I think that's when that whole media control thing started.
Oh yeah, because the Illuminati, they knew what they had to do. Like basically, they tried to restart the revolution. They failed at that. So the next best thing was called Frankenism, which is infiltration. It's a German word to get into our churches, to our education system, into the media. Because back in the 1700s, after Adam Weishaupt created the Illuminati, he created something called the German Union. What they did was, because at the time the media was the libraries and the publications. So they got the German Union. They had their own authors, their own journalists and everything else, writing books and publications and everything to infect the minds of the public, like what the mainstream media does today. They were doing it back then. So this Operation Mockingbird is a modern day update, basically, of the German Union. And these people had this whole thing plotted out years and years ago, and it's very sickening and disgusting.
It definitely is, man. And I live where I live. I'm like an hour and a half or so away from good old Bohemian Grove out here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I want to take a trip out there. I'll probably get arrested because I definitely would want to go infiltrate that place.
Yeah, you actually will. As a matter of fact, you can get arrested just going down the street.
Really?
That goes up to the gate. Yeah, because it's a dead end. Like the street dead ends at the gate. But
wow, especially after Alex Jones blew the whole place up. So I'm sure they get that on lockdown.
Well, Brad Metzler actually, when he had a show called Decoded, I think it was on the History Channel.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, he sent his guys out there, and they did get arrested.
Yeah, I remember that show now. Yep.
Yeah. So Bohemian Grove, for you all that don't know the location of it, it's like 90 miles north of San Francisco, and of course it's on the coast, and it's right on a river called the Russian River.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unreal. What's the slogan there? Bring not your cares here, whatever it is. I forgot.
Yeah, something like that. It reminds you of Shakespeare's what's that one he did, the Midnight Garden or something like that. Yeah. No, but we have all these people that you would normally see at like a Bilderberg. They all come here.
Oh, Weaving Spiders not come here. That's it.
Yeah. But they all come here, and it's like I've literally been, I've gotten on the freeway next to my house actually, and had the freeway shut down because the president and other dignitaries were on their way over there to Bohemian Grove. This was late Clinton years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff comes out of there, man, and I feel bad for you. You got Governor Newsom out there. You got Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, Maxine Waters. Man, you got the cream of the crop, if you will, from California. That's destroying the Congress of our country. It's sickening.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, living here, and I do follow the politics of my state. Probably a little bit more closely than I probably should, but I have a feeling that there's going to be a massive shift. I mean, there was already a huge move, and when I say huge, like almost all of the state is trying to get Newsom out of office. First of all, Maxine Waters, I don't know what's going to happen there. But I can tell you, LA is a dump. Every time I've ever been to LA, pre-COVID, all this, pre-Trump, even it's a dump. Everywhere you go down there's a dump. Now with all the homeless people, especially in her district that she doesn't even live in, that place is it's chaos. It looks like it literally. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie or not, but it literally looks like Escape from LA.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not joking. There's crap on the street, like literal crap, and like just garbage piled tents. All in the meanwhile, right? They're building these super high-end luxury apartments, like high rises. Like we just had a bill on the ballot for rent control, right? Which would have helped a lot of the homeless, especially in the places like San Francisco and LA, where you can't even afford a basic 800 square foot apartment for a decent price. 800 square feet in San Francisco, by the way, if you were to buy that apartment, it'd be like $1.5 million for 800 square feet.
Unreal.
I'm gonna tell you, I remember this is gonna kind of start dating me, but it was right after I graduated high school in 1995. I was reading an article in one of the tech journals that I used to get back then, and someone was paying at that time, I think it was $1,500 to live in a converted meat locker in Emeryville, which is literally on the other side of the Bay Bridge, on the Oakland side from San Francisco. That whole area is crazy. The guy that's in my pictures that was wearing the green dragon mask,
yep,
he lives about 10 minutes from like Facebook and Twitter and all those guys down there, or actually Apple, the big, I forgot what that complex is called, but it's a big circle. He lives about 10, 20 minutes from those guys in a regular 3-bedroom home, same size as mine, and his house is literally worth $2 million.
Wow.
And it's a suburban home. No wonder our state is where it's at.
Yeah.
And most of it, I can tell you where it all comes down to. It's all one thing. It's greed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to do now with the country what they've done to California, where there really isn't a middle class. When Obama said, "Oh, you're poor unless you make $250,000 a year."
I think that's most of the country then.
Yeah, I mean, even in California, to make $250,000 a year, you're going to be like a lawyer or something. I don't even think doctors make that out here. But everything else is so expensive because everybody else is so too stupid not to vote for this or that. Let's get a new tax on the gas so we can pay for clean air. Look, whatever. Yeah. Sorry, I get very, very upset about it. But, I know the way that people look at my state, and for the most part, they're probably right. But with that said, there are so many good people out here with good heads on their shoulders
mm-hmm.
that love our Father and are trying to change the environment here. At least to make it somewhat bipartisan and not just Republican giving up to Democrat kind of thing. to where we can both do a 50-50 come together. Yeah, of course I want to drink clean water. I want to breathe clean air, but I don't want to do it at the expense of, this or that that's going to, either harm my livelihood, my pocket too much, or how I'm able to even live out here.
You're right, man. And over here in Rhode Island, man, I mean, we got 7% tax. It's one of the, it's not the highest tax rate in the country, but it's right behind you guys. And we got another psychopath as the governor, Gina Raimondo. And same thing here. It's like nobody wants her here, but somehow she ends up getting voted back in. Same thing with Newsom. And that guy, his last name fits him. He definitely is a Newsom. He was on TV, on TV today, some live stream where I was talking about the COVID-19, whatever again. And the guy's a complete moron. And he goes on, he looks like this actor, which he's probably just an actor, a world elite actor, whatever the case. But he goes on TV and acts like he's Mr. Get Bad. And meanwhile, he's got Los Angeles on lockdown right now. We got a friend of ours, Valley, out there.
He's got the state on lockdown.
I'm sorry?
He's got the state on lockdown.
Yeah. Oh, state. Wow.
He can't even eat outdoors out here anymore.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like, it's really bad. My wife, she's a school teacher, right? And she was planning on being able to go back into the school and actually teach her children. It was going to be this modified learning thing. But there's he's got it set up with zones. And if you're in the purple, you can't, you're on lockdown. And so now he's turned these zones into regions. So instead of being by say a by county kind of thing, it's literally all of Sacramento, the surrounding foothill mountains, and the high Sierras, all the way up to Tahoe to the border. That's one region. So if you get so many COVID cases that are in that region, it shuts the whole region down.
Unreal,
it's the most asinine thing I have ever encountered.
Yeah, it is, and there's nothing at all makes sense at all. And the restrictions they got in any state, they just don't make sense at all. Then who comes up with that 6 foot rule? It's like, why 6 feet?
Where? Yeah, why 6 feet? Literally, why 6 feet?
Yeah.
I mean, I can sneeze and it'll go 6 feet. I've watched Mythbusters too, when they show the gas emissions, on a thermal camera. It goes 6 feet.
Yeah.
You know what else really, really irks me is the stupid COVID test itself.
Yeah.
It's why do they need to go up your nose all the way to your brain barrier, right? If the mask they want you to wear their mask because it's going to stop the water droplets from coming out. Well, if those water droplets have COVID on them, why not just spit into a little jar instead of shoving something in my back of my head?
Yeah, that's insane. I would never do that, man. And, here's the thing, too, right? Now, if this was all real and everything else, wouldn't masking gloves probably be the most contaminated thing? Why ain't there special disposal? Like when you go to a hospital or a bathroom, you see this red box on the wall for disposal for needles for people with diabetes and whatever. Why ain't there boxes like that for the gloves and mask?
Exactly.
Makes no sense, man. And, it's insane, it really is. Then when you ask the questions, you're a conspiracy theorist. So even though when, Fauci comes out, at first he says the masks are useless, then they're not, then they ain't, then they are, then it's 6 feet, under 6 feet, over 6 feet, or 6 feet. They can't make up their mind with that. Constantly contradicting themselves over and over again. Then you got one expert saying one thing.
Back to school.
Yep.
It's just crazy. It's that guy, I would not, he hasn't been a practicing doctor in, 20 years or something like that?
Yeah.
He doesn't have patience. He just looks at books. He doesn't work in the field. All of his contradictions that he said should tell everybody that this guy's a moron and not to listen to him ever about anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It really irks me. And you know what? That'd be a killer business deal for, especially out here in California, where we're going to be perpetually locked down forever. That's a news thing you can run with, by the way. Is to make those garbage cans so we can throw them away. It's all about the money. That's what this whole COVID thing's about.
Yeah.
Can't call it a cold or flu anymore, and that's why they stopped testing. Gathering statistics what the flu impact is this year, because they can't tell the difference between the flu.
Yeah.
in COVID.
You notice how the flu just like magically went away? You don't hear nothing about flu
Just
shots, flu
disappeared.
deaths.
Nope. Nothing. It's all COVID now.
Yep.
That's what you have to worry about. Fear us. Fear all of us talking heads, not the doctors out there that are actually trying to talk sense and explain to people like, hey, this might be a little bit more severe flu this year, but it's definitely nothing that's going to kill you unless you have some comorbidity, like pneumonia, associated with it, or you have lung cancer, or you're 95 years old and your body just doesn't, keep up with itself like it used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you got this insanity out there. Then you got this whole election thing where we're just talking about, and would it be? She's monolith. There was a fourth one just found.
Oh, where was the fourth one found?
Let me get that real quick. These monoliths, man. It's insane. Let me get that.
I know there was one in California.
Yep.
One in like Slovenia or something like that, and one in Utah.
Yep. And let me grab this article. It's just on Fox News here. There was a fourth one found. Let me see.
Yeah, those things are, I don't know, like that one that they showed didn't have a very good welding job on it.
No.
Did you see with all the holes in it along the weld line?
Yep. I guess this one's the south coast of England.
Ah, of course. Yeah,
Fox News just came out today, talk about it. And it's funny because these things are you of course, you're going to have people copycatting it, whatever, but the thing is, these metal monoliths is not like something, an average person could slap together quick and throw out in the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean? So,
well, the one guy did, because that's why his weld line was all jacked up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And I think the first one, the one that was paired in Utah, what I think is because my knowledge of the occult and everything, I think there was an occult, going out there doing their rituals and whatnot, and the helicopter who was serving the animals happened to find it, hit the media, and like, all right, we got to remove this. And it was a video of 4 men removing it from the ground. They didn't know who they were, but whatever. I think it was it's like, let's get it out of here because we don't want to bring this much attention. So I think it was that. Then now people got their eyes open to them. Now they're gonna start seeing them everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really think there's some kind of a worldwide occult if these things are popping up, the same one popping up here and there.
Look, I'm gonna say this: if it doesn't agree with the Father, it's a cult.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's definitely nothing to the Father with that, man, because we know the obelisk, that's what it is, a monolith obelisk, whatever you want to call it. That's literally, they call it Nimrod's golden penis, everything in the occult sexual, and it's a phallic symbol, and there's for resurrection. You know what I mean? We got it's Washington Monument. It's not even George Washington's monument. It's
right.
Sickening. You know what I mean? And so it's to resurrect the Antichrist, whatever the case, and to bring the Antichrist to the planet. And we've done so many shows on this stuff, but if you notice, these occultic symbols are popping up everywhere, man.
Yeah, I just saw someone on Facebook. There was some sort of Christmas logo for this year because of COVID, and it was like a total triangle within a circle. It actually looked like that Harry Potter symbol, with the line that goes through it. Yeah, it looked exactly like that. Yeah. It's like, here's your magic sigil, Let
me see if I can grab that on where we're talking here. Christmas logo.
Yeah, it's blue and white. But yeah, it kind of looked like it looks like a satanic sigil, actually. If you look at the main outline of the lines, like what do they call it, sacred geometry?
Yeah,
it looks like that.
I forgot where I seen that. Do you remember where that was?
I just saw it on someone's post on Facebook somewhere. I don't even remember who it was.
Yeah, I seen that too. I'm trying to find on Google, but
yeah, it might be a new thing. May not have Google servers might have not spidered throughout everything yet for it to be there. But let me see if I can find it for you while you're looking. Yeah, but yeah, there's everything is satanic.
Yep.
And if it's funny, especially here, it's kind of like how Washington D.C. has just even the outline of the city itself is like a big pentagram. So it's kind of like that here, but not with the streets. It's dotted with Catholic churches.
Yep.
And then Order of the Eastern Star and Masonic temples. Not the lodges, but Masonic temples. As a matter of fact, if you ever have time to look on J Street at the Masonic Temple there, I think it's like a 6 or 8 story old building. It's probably built in the 1800s, but it's got these two monolithic men, I guess, with long hoods over them, standing and acting as pillars as for this entire building. When John Hall came out here, or not John Hall, but John Pounders came out here, um, this was several years ago. I took him over to our actual Capitol, and in front of our Capitol we have some state buildings, but they're done up fancy because they're kind of the whole Capitol and the Romanesque looking thing. But above these two buildings, there's literal like men working in a field kind of thing, right? Short and stout, and then you have government, the portrayal of government, and they're these giant like laborious, whipping us with their whips, kind of like imagery on those buildings. It's crazy.
Wow, it's crazy. Yeah, it's all over the place, man. We got here in Providence, Rhode Island. We got a giant obelisk right in front of the federal courthouse. That thing's like really high too, and we got a lot of cultic symbolism and everything here. And the thing is because these people want they figure it brings how they believe it brings seething energies into the planet for these demonic entities and everything else to honor Lucifer. You know what I mean? Their God, whatever the case. And that's what they people go out and do. So those of you just joining us, if anybody just joins us now on the show, because this is pre-recorded because YouTube shut us down for a week.
Yeah.
But so which has got to do with leather. Somebody may ask, but Josh Watts, besides being the leather, he's also into the truth, with scripture and everything else, and he's got his eyes open. You know what I mean? Like we all do here, and to see this stuff, man, see things as God sees them. You know what I mean? And when you see the putrid stuff of it, I mean, it really is a sickening. And everything in the occult is a perverted sexual image, a mirror image to what God teaches. You know what I mean? And it's outright nasty and disgusting how perverted that the occult could get. You know what I mean? It's witchcraft, all levels at that. And because there's many sects of witchcraft, the occult in every region. You know what I mean? From Satanism to whatever the case. And there's stuff we all try to become aware about and to know our enemy and expose it, like it says in Ephesians. And it's one of my favorite Ephesians 5 and 6. Put the full armor of God on to recognize that we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities of darkness and up in the air and everything else. You know what I mean? Satanic and demonic sources and everything. The spiritual warfare is very real. It's more real than the phone or computer that you're watching us on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so real that it's actually touched home here for me, like really, like 3 days ago, the satanic side of it. I don't know if you've looked into SSRIs before.
Yep.
Antidepressant drugs. One of my daughter's friends, he's on a bunch of them. I didn't know. I mean, I knew he was on something because he said he had problems with depression. I didn't know it was to the extent of what it was, and apparently he's on several drugs. Anyway, he has a baby sibling, and I don't want to give away too much information, but something very bad happened, and he had to be taken away. He's not like in jail or anything like that. The kid's like, I think 11 or 12 years old, but he's not at home right now because he's being evaluated. And I've met this kid. He's slept in my home before. I've hung out with him. There's no dad in the picture. He's very into like animes, and we all know that. Well, we probably all don't know, but most of the animes, they're not at all godly or anything close to it. But he's also just a kid. He was always very happy and loving. And the day before this incident happened, he just I talked to him on the phone for a second, and we were joking around, but apparently something flipped in him. But the very good news is we've talked to his mom, and when he's allowed to come back home, she's going to allow me and the wife minister to him. I don't know if I'm going to have him come into my home, quite right away, but I'm going to go to him and minister to him, because the only thing I can see there is straight um, demonic involvement.
Absolutely, and when they do, these companies, whatever. I mean, these medical institutions, when they do administer these psychotropic drugs, it enhances whatever's bothering them. They think it's, they might put them out unconscious, whatever. But psychotropics, like we go back in the occult, they highly encourage people to use anything that alters your state of consciousness to open the so-called third eye and enhances whatever activity is going on with you. And so you got all these people out in the mental wards and everything else. They could be helped. I mean, like the pastors should be going to these places to try to help these people and everything else.
Absolutely.
It's a spiritual thing. Most of these people are demonic possessed. There was one guy, my ex-wife, right? Her uncle, he started flipping out, and he wasn't a guy that I was, very close to with, and whatever. Seen him at the family parties, right? So,
right.
He's on. When I seen him at the house, right? He was totally out of it, right? He's got that look in the eyes. I'm talking about. This
that kind of dead, I'm not here look.
And I'm like saying to myself, this guy is possessed. And so I went up to him and say hello to him. He shakes my hand. He's looking in my eyes. And I had an unconfessed sin. He told me exactly what it was to my face. And he said, the Father won't be pleased with that. And he started laughing about it. You know what I mean? And, but psychotically, it was like you could see the demon in his eyes.
Yeah.
And I knew right then and there. I told my mother-in-law she's into the faith and all that. So, but anyway, even before she even got a chance to react, he ended up attacking his other sister in the middle of the night. Just randomly started beating her up. He got arrested and they put him up in the mental ward. And I told him this guy needs help. Not being arrested. This guy needs some spiritual help. And but man, I tell you, when you see these things in people, man, I meet them on the street. Some of these people have pure black eyes that there's no soul there. You know what I mean? And it is uncanny and scary, man.
I had a girlfriend like that once. No, but I really think that some of the drugs are literally designed to be gateways, and SSRIs are definitely, I think, are designed to be a gateway for evil. And I don't think you should ever give those to children, ever, for whatever reason. You and I growing up, if there was a kid that, as we know them now, having ADHD, we would just say it was a hyperactive kid. But now they would want to label the kid and say, no, that kid's got ADHD or ADD or this and that, and we need to put him on these drugs to change the way his mind operates. The Father has designed all of us specifically for a purpose, for His glory, right? And our physiology, along with and I'm not a doctor or nothing like that, but this is what I believe: your physiology, your chemistry in your body, they were designed as well. It's not just your physical makeup. You're going to have this kind of personality. You're going to have your own choices to make, and your personality go this way or that way. But you're still going to be this kind of person. Well, we have these drugs now that are going to slow someone's mind down or speed it up or whatever it's supposed to do to help that child not be what we consider abnormal anymore or hyperactive. What does that say about what we're doing to ourselves? Do you think that would you consider that changing you from who you are? Literally, not necessarily saying you're no longer human, but you're literally going against the Father.
Yeah, I really believe that. I really do, because we're supposed to be a sound mind and everything else and be tested and tried like Christians, right? We all grew up with tests and trials, and we pursued through them, thanks to the Lord, to our Father. And, right. It's like when they take the element out of learning from your mistakes, learning from your trials, when you take that element out of that, that takes away what God's trying to do. Because it's like, forging steel, you know what I mean, a blade.
Yep.
How it becomes stronger, you keep putting it through the fire and hammering the heck out of it, right?
Yep.
Putting it through trials and tests and trials, tests and trials. And when you persevere through it, you're more stronger, you got more faith, you got more, you're what God's trying to build you as. A fierce,
Yep.
fierce soldier for the Lord, full of courage, and you're fearless, plain and simple. And the more tests and trials that a Christian goes through in a lifetime, you know what I mean, you learn from them and you get better. You know what I mean, it's amazing. They're like all the trials I've been through. At the time, you're like, what the heck did I do wrong? Then when you finally face what it's about, understand it, the Lord gives you back tenfold more than that. There was times I was living in my car, man, and like with barely any money, 1/3 of my paycheck from unemployment, and when I learned what the trial was about, the test, I've overcome it through the Lord. You know what I mean? I kept my faith in the Lord. I knew it was a trial, a test. I just had to, face it like a man and head right toward it. So, all right, what am I going to do to get things better? You know what I mean? I can't sit around, lick my wounds and just say, oh, I want pity. You know what I mean? I got to see what this trial's about. And it forges the steel, per se. You know what I mean? And it makes you stronger. So basically, what you were saying about the medications, all that. So, when people go through problems, like especially a kid, you as a father or mother, you help them through. Say, listen, this is this is life. Okay, things are gonna happen, but what you need to do is you gotta be strong. This that, and the other. Nowadays, no. Well, we're gonna go put you through some shrink, and they're gonna dope you up on medications. Yep. And by the time you're not even in high school, you're over there twitching a mile a minute, and somebody says boo to you, and you run to the guidance office, and they give you this safe space to hide into instead of facing bullies, bullying too, you know what I mean? And instead of facing problems of life like a man or a woman, at a young age and learning from it, they're not doing that no more. I mean, I don't know how many fights I got into when I was a kid. I got my butt kicked. I come home with a broken nose. My father's like, you just wipe it off. He goes, you know what? Would you learn from this? It's like, I got to learn to defend myself.
Not to get my nose in the way anymore, Dad. Now, and I'm not saying that all medications, pills, whatever, cough syrup, I don't think it's all bad. It's specific drugs that are literally designed to change your brain chemistry. If you got a headache, take some aspirin. I'm okay with that. I think the Father's okay with that. He gave us the minds to be able to come up with the idea, oh, we need to have medicine. He even said, I give you every plant and herb for, food medicine. Well, now we have the ability to condense the part of that herb or fruit or food to be our medicine. Let's take it. But when we start altering molecules, like what you would have to do for SSRI drug or any other kind of psychotropic drug out there, where you're literally altering the chemical makeup of those drugs, those ingredients for those drugs, then yeah, I think those are the drugs that aren't sanctioned, I guess you could say. I don't know. There's not like a list in the Bible that says, hey, you can take some Tylenol and some Motrin, but
Yeah.
I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, he provides, like that's why I believe for every disease, every sickness, there's some kind of herbs, fruits, or whatever somewhere that God created. There's some kind of a cure, and the apricot seeds.
It's funny that you say it like that too, because food itself, can be like your diet, right? It's been a proven fact. I don't have no sauce on this anywhere, but I've heard it over and over. That's been a proven fact that, if you change your diet, you will get better, right?
Yep.
Like, so if you stop eating candy bars every day, well, you're probably going to lose weight if you continue to just do the same amount of activity, and you're probably going to feel better, right?
Yep.
And your pancreas isn't going to shrivel up, and you're not going to become a diabetic and have to shoot yourself with a bunch of needles every day. So I also think it also changes the way that your brain works too. Yeah. It's like, you want to put crappy gasoline in your tank, or you want to put the best stuff you can. I want to be able to drive my car, and I want it to be able to last as long as it possibly can last at the highest performance level.
Yeah, man. Like when you eat crap, like you feel like crap. You know what I mean? And so you are what you eat. You know what I mean? Most
exactly.
of the time. eat junk food and all that, you got to feel run down and all that. But yeah, man, and it's such amazing stuff. I got to get you back on again, man, and get you on a new show and all that, talk about what's going on and everything. And I want to thank you for your time, brother.
Hey, no worries, brother. I appreciate being here.
Absolutely. So thank you again, man. I'll be in touch with you, brother.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You too. So, guys, if you want to check Joshua out, again, it's joshua'sleather.com. Please, by all means, check him out. And I want to thank everybody for joining us here. And it's amazing stuff how, you meet these amazing people and, true brothers in the faith. So I love you, Josh, and I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too, bro.
All right, guys, so we'll see you soon. God bless, shalom, and you are the resistance. Declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com.